Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. So, fun fact, I thought that this week's episode was last week, which is why I was so ready for Amity content, but no, it's this week. So, yeah. I have a feeling this is going to be similar to Wing It Like Witches, where everyone was like, Grom was so gay, how could it get gayer? And then Wing It Like Witches made it gayer. That said, I'm also looking forward to seeing Amity do something on her own without Luz, and I just want to see that Amity can develop separate from Luz. And I also see in the still that Hunter may be in this one. So lots of fun stuff to get into. Maybe Amity will meet Hunter. Oh, Ida's gonna be there. This is gonna be great. So let's get right into it. And if you've enjoyed what you heard so far, please consider giving this video a like, comment, or subscribe. It would really help our channel grow, and I'd really appreciate it. Starting in 3, 2, 1, play. Interesting. It's always interesting to see the Emperor do his tech stuff. Grimwalker, huh? Ooh, doesn't work. Maybe he needs the key that Luz has.
Emperor Belos. Found every piece of
See his face. Wow.
Are you spying on me just to hear these boring stories?
So is this Philip?
The Titan has big plans for you, and it would be such a hassle to find a replacement. So, right now,
Find a replacement. Huh. It's like a coven head. It's gonna use Hunter for something.
Good night, Hunter.
Hey, Amity.
What's your status?
She's at the outhouse?
Yes.
Willow.
This looks ancient.
What? No, it's only 30 years old.
I volunteer as well. As Luz's girlfriend, I must.
I get it.
I love that she is so dutiful. Oh my lord.
Snakes for arms.
They get sidelined again? They are never gonna get screen time.
Is that the youngest blight?
So that is her palisman? She already had one? That's quite cat. I love it.
A coven scout.
Yes! I am but a
She's
humble
willing to
scout.
attack coven scouts? This is interesting.
Not so fast, King. Don't you recognize that annoying voice?
Why does everyone say that? Oof, that doesn't look good.
Stay back. But what doesn't look good?
Seems clear to me. Come back with results, or else you can figure out the rest.
No, Luz wouldn't make that kind of threat. I'm an awesome girlfriend.
Has she told you that? We have a lot in common, Blight. We're both trying to show what we can bring to the table, and we can't fail, because there's nothing worse than disappointing someone who thinks you're special.
Okay, watch this.
Wow, way to get in her head.
At least untie me so I can escape! Please, I don't want to be replaced.
Fine. So, where will you go now?
Now... I get to Eclipse Lake before anyone! Bye!
Jeez.
That jerk.
Dick.
I'm just like throwing it out there. But this would be a great time to bring out Harpy Eden.
Albert!
Okay,
Albert,
I'll try.
no!
Just give me a second.
Albert!
Okay, I'll do it. Just change now. Aha! Yes!
Luz has been sending me these strange human codes. I don't understand all of them, but this one seems pretty clear. Come back with results, or...
That is not what Luz believes.
You are rad. Fool's blood bad. You okay? Come home? Of course. This is Luz we're talking about.
Look at this animation. Oh my, wow. Ooh, Amity. This is amazing.
Oh, hey. You stuck with me the whole time, Humbird. I think I understood that. Is that your name? Can you say it again? Weird.
No, what's the bird's name? I wanna know. Oh. Okay, so it wasn't gayer in the sense like Winged Like Witches was gayer, but it was just like girlfriend. They're like, you are not going to misunderstand the nature of this relationship, which I appreciate. Alright, so I've seen the episode twice more since watching it the first time. And I'm gonna start off by just saying I love it. I love this episode. It's super solid. I love the fight sequence, the smooth animation fight sequence between Amity and Hunter. It is so cool. I love watching it over and over again. But yeah, let's get into the breakdown. So, we start off with Emperor Belos, and we see a book that he has. And in the book, it said like one of the ingredients he needs is Selkie-Dama scales. So I guess now we know why he was seeking the Selkie-Damas. It was something related to the portal. But since he didn't get Selkie-Dama scales, how is he opening the portal? So, maybe he was able to substitute. And then on the other side of the page, there was like a baby and some rocks. Like it was much harder to figure out what that was. So that's kind of interesting. I wonder what that has to do with anything. And then we actually get to see Belos' face. He just looks like a human, or humanoid witch, etc. And he has this weird scar over his face. And I guess that's part of his curse. And also his ears look pointed, like they look very much like Hunter, so it looks like he was born a witch. So maybe he's not Widobane, but some descendant of Widobane. He also said that he had been to the human realm before, which I found interesting. So just like Ida, he has traveled in the human realm for whatever reason and is now trying to unite the two realms together. I'm wondering if it has something to do with like, it can't be that magic is leaving the Boiling Isles, because there's still plenty of magic. So yeah, I don't know why he wants to unite these two realms. And then we finally finish that Belos scene with Belos just telling Hunter, like, the Titan has a purpose for you. And so it's clear that he's using Hunter the same way that he's using the Coven Guards. There must be something unique about Hunter's lack of magic, and most likely being some sort of witch-human hybrid, that will make him, I guess, some sort of like useful conduit or something like that. That's what I'm guessing. For having no magic of his own, he must be able to channel magic. That's usually how the magic systems are set up, right? So he's clearly some instrumental part of Belos' plan, and it's not necessarily Belos showing sincere care for him, which is sad. So then we head over to the Owl House, and you see Amity with her checklist, and I love that she's taking charge of like taking care of Luz, and that Hootie listens to her and it's just like, yes ma'am, and that like everyone's listening to her. Like I love that she brings her A-type personality and we get to see it in different circumstances. I think that's really cute, and it also serves as a really good basis for her obstacle this episode. The fact that she was thinking that Luz would treat her the same way like her mom has treated her in the past, or that love and acceptance is transactional and you have to bring something to the table and you have to perform and do the best you can to justify your existence or to justify how they feel about you. And so, yeah, you got to see the good side of A-type personality, where she's like on top of taking care of Luz, and then later you get to see the bad side of it, and I just like that a lot. We meet her palisman, Ghost, very cute cat, and I'm wondering where she got it. Like, I don't remember, but was Ghost one of the adoptees that the Bat Queen had, or is like Ghost a palisman that she carved on her own, or is Ghost like a hand-me-down in her family, like a inherited palisman, like all Blights get a similar type of palisman or something like that? And also, it makes me realize that like Edric and Emma are older than her, so shouldn't they have their staffs already? So are we ever going to see their staffs? But yeah, so we meet her palisman, and it's super pretty. It fits her very well aesthetically, and so that was super fun. Then we, like, Ida's trying to harness her harpy powers, which again, to harken back to last episode, makes me a little bit hesitant, because that's kind of like saying your disability is actually your superpower, and I don't know about that. But I do like this little hint that Ida, like the joke about the Dragon Ball Z, this came out 20 years ago. She's like, I remember seeing this in theaters. And so, again, just another hint that, like, Ida spent a significant amount of time in the human realm, like, watching movies and doing other stuff, which, you know, is the backdoor pilot for the Ida series that we're not going to get. But yeah, so that was a fun little insert. I guess we can play it out in fan fiction and figure out what did Ida do in her time in the human realm. So then Luce, you see Luce, and she's sick, and she's waving her arms around. She thinks they're snakes. That may be another hint that her palisman is going to be a snake. We see her with a snake in the very first episode. I think Roundtable Vid had that video about Luce possibly having a snake palisman, which I actually didn't watch because I didn't want Luce to have a snake palisman. I don't know why, but this is further proof that maybe Luce's palisman is going to be a snake. Yeah, and then Luce with her little like Tamagotchi thing, rewatching it and you know what the code is. I love that Luce sends "you're pretty" to Amity that first time. It's just like such a cute, sick thing to do when like your inhibitions are a little bit lowered and you see the person that you like or that you're dating. You're just like, "You're pretty." Like it was so sweet. And of course, Amity was like, "Right back at you," or something like that, because she didn't understand it. And Luce's face was like, "Oh, sad." So then we learn that Titan's blood mixes with water, and that's what forms portals. So I'm wondering how the portal works. Is there somehow it's captured water inside of it that mixes it with Titan's blood that causes a portal to open? I'm wondering if like the water part is important, or if that's just one way that you can open a portal. And then to kind of quickly go through the rest of the episode, don't know why I didn't have as many notes, but I love when Hunter gets caught by Amity and Ida and King, and Ida's like, "Oh, that's such an annoying voice," and he goes, "Why does everyone say that?" Like, it's such a great line read. I thought that was excellent. I'm really loving Hunter's VA. I didn't like the character when he first showed up, but that was because that was almost purely based on the voice acting and how good it was for like conveying a cocky young teenager. Like, this voice actor is really, really good, and I can't wait to see what he does in the future. I hope that he stars in his own show as like a black hero. I know he's on another show. I think it's like as a side character. I haven't looked it up, but yeah, I would love to see him in like an action adventure story similar to the Owl House, where he gets to play like a black kid. Would be cool. And then later, when they're in the tunnels, we also get the return of Hunter's iconic "bye," which like ties him to Ida. So again, they're like making sure you understand there's probably a connection here, some sort of connection. I'm wondering what it is. Yeah, I like that Ida. I really enjoy the times when Ida kind of steps out of the parent role and is a little bit ridiculous. I'm not sure how believable it is. Like, it feels weird, but I don't mind because it's fun. I don't know if that makes sense. But yeah, there you get Ida and King being irresponsible in the tunnels. They get themselves into trouble multiple times, kind of as a excuse to get Amity and Hunter alone so that you can see how Amity and Hunter's personalities play off each other. And I thought that was really cool, how they married each other. And that was a really effective way of exploring both characters, is to have them marry each other and have similar problems and similar insecurities, except with Hunter, the way that what he assumes about Belos is true, and you see that like what Amity is assuming about Luce is not, and how that is causing them to react in very differently. And so, again, we just have a model for how Hunter can find his way out of his darkness. I'm still like kind of holding out hope that he's on a fall arc and that he'll like kill his palisman or something and cement his heart for the dark side. Only because it would be more interesting to me than a redemption arc. You know, Zuko is the OG redemption arc that has become the archetype for all these redemption arcs since. And so we've gotten to see a lot of them, and they are really, like, some of them are really good. Like, I will probably at some point do a whole video on Catra. I love her so much, you know? But this does mean that we have had almost a decade or two of exploring redemption arcs at this point, and I think that we haven't seen fall arcs really, and so I would like to see some different types of arcs explored and see how they integrate into these sorts of stories. I think the only fall arc that we've seen is Simon on the Infinity Train, and that was done excellently, and it was so shocking to people, but they were like, why didn't he get redemption? There are a lot of reasons people said that, but one of them being that I think we've gotten used to redemption and we haven't explored some of the other types of arcs that characters can have. So it'd be cool to see him get a fall arc, but I don't think he's going to. Like, just the way this episode ended with him having a conversation with his palisman and learning his palisman's name, I don't think he's gonna fall. I think he's gonna redeem himself. Again, I would love to gush about the animation during that fight. It was just so cool. Like, just cool. Cool factor. Oh man, like, whoa. I will watch. This is a scene of the show that I will go back and gladly watch over and over again, even if I won't watch the rest of the episode. Like, I think this was maybe one of the best fights in the show. Like, one of the best smooth animations, I shouldn't say, because they're not always used for fights. Like, Ida and Rain's Rhapsody wasn't a fight. But I really liked this one. I liked the colors of it and the shadows of it. Like, I liked it more even than the battle between Lilith and Ida, either of them. Yeah, I just thought this was so cool. And I love seeing Amity, that Amity is such a competent magic user. That's really awesome. So yeah, those were my thoughts on this episode. I really loved it. Let's get into ratings. Ratings-wise, I would say this episode was solid. It made me feel something. I would say a 4 with, like, if I could pluck out that fight scene all on its own is a 5. But the episode as a whole, I would say, is definitely a 4. I enjoyed it. It was really fun. I liked how the character dynamics were explored. And what I was hoping for was Amity developing separate from her relationship to Luz. I kind of got, right? Like, yes, she's in a relationship with Luz, but this isn't about, like, their relationship developing necessarily so much as Amity developing on her own as a person and her relationship helping support that. And that's what I was really looking for these past couple episodes, because I've been a little bit hesitant because the only times we've seen Amity so far in the season were to advance the Lumity plot, right? Like, we see her in episode 2, and that's when Luz catches feelings. We see her in episode 5, and that's where Amity reveals her feelings by kissing Luz. And then we see her in episode 8, and they start dating, right? Again, never underestimate how quickly the Owl House will move through things. Like, I know it, like, took to episode 8 in the season, but it really was like every time Amity showed up, they took a significant step forward. They were like, first, we have to confirm that Luz has feelings too. Okay, we did that. Then we have to have them somehow betray their feelings for each other. Cool, they're blushing at each other in this library episode, and Amity kisses her on the cheek, and then they're gonna get together. Done. No fat on this plot. It was great. But that has been the only context in which we've seen Amity, and other things where she could have been involved, she was written out, right? Like, so the first hunting palisman, she just wasn't there. So I really appreciate that we got to see her in a plotline that wasn't trying to advance Lumity, even though it did give Lumity some development as well. Yeah, so great episode, 4 out of 5, and I will see you all next week. Thanks. Hey everyone, I hope you enjoyed this reaction and breakdown, and I look forward to seeing you all in the next one. Please give the video a like, comment, share with your friends, help my channel grow. I would love to do more of these and just share my thoughts on more stories with you. So I'll see you in the next one. Peace.